The Jonathan Majors trial has been delayed yet again. However, there might actually be some good that comes out of this. And today we have some new statements from Jonathan Majors' team, as well as a record of what the judge said today needs to happen in court by a certain date, or this case against Jonathan Majors will be dismissed. And his team right now, today, has actually filed yet again for this case to be dismissed, still claiming and further claiming they have irrefutable evidence that Jonathan Majors is indeed innocent and the victim in the situation. And we have seen and heard about a lot of this evidence. If you're joining us today and you're new to the story, just a quick little catch up. A few months ago, Marvel's big star, Jonathan Majors, who is portraying their new big bad villain of the next few years for Marvel Studios, Kang the Conqueror, was arrested. He was arrested for assault against his now ex-girlfriend, but current girlfriend at the time of the alleged assault. And right now he is going to court for misdemeanor charges of assault and harassment. And if he is found guilty, he's looking at a year behind bars, a year in prison. What was said that happened at first was that Jonathan Majors and his now ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, were in a private car in the backseat going to an event where they got into a fight where he allegedly assaulted her. He was arrested the next morning when the cops were called, but he is the one who actually called the cops because he went back to his apartment and he found her passed out half naked on the floor. When the cops got there, he was arrested. That was all that was revealed at first. Now we've learned a lot more. We have footage of Grace Jabari minutes after this supposed assault took place, partying at a nightclub with no signs of injury whatsoever. Footage of Jonathan Majors actually trying to leave her in the car, and she's trying to hold him back and make him not leave, in which he does escape, and a lot of testimonial witnesses on Jonathan Majors' behalf. And as far as we're concerned right now, Jonathan Majors and his team has provided a lot of evidence supporting the fact that he did not abuse Grace Jabari. And as far as we know, Grace Jabari's team hasn't at least publicly shown anything evidence-wise. But the trial has been pushed back a few times now, including today, but something new did happen today. This report is coming from Deadline.com, and they state, in a rescheduled hearing in New York City today, Judge Michael Gaffey listened to arguments from both the actor's defense team and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office on the sharing of evidence and a motion by Majors' team to dismiss the matter. And what's really interesting is that there are some new court date and decision deadlines set that really coincide with Loki. It's very interesting, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. To finish what the judge said after he heard the defendant, Jonathan Majors' team, ask the matter to be dismissed, this is apparently what happened. No ruling on the motion was issued Friday by Judge Gaffey, but the criminal court judge has told the DA's office that they have until October 6th to respond to the defense's motion. That is the defense's motion to dismiss it. And according to this report, the defense will then have to reply by October 16th, with the judge making a ruling by October 25th. So this is extremely interesting because what is now possible is that the DA could simply drop everything against Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is the defense in this situation, but since the very start of this, Jonathan Majors' team has presented a lot of evidence that is highly in his favor. So if they take a look at this and they say, you know what, we're going to lose this case, let's just go ahead and drop it right now, that would obviously be insanely good for Jonathan Majors. And that's where we're at right now. The DA's office has to decide what they want to do and how and if they want to move forward, and they have to decide by October 6th. And that's an incredibly interesting date because that is exactly when Loki Season 2 Episode 1 drops. Once they make a decision, then the defense, Jonathan Majors' team, has until October 13th to reply, and that is when the next episode, Episode 2 of Loki, drops. And then the judge has until October 25th to make a ruling, which is about a week and a half away. Now, the reason that I personally find these dates really interesting, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, but due to the fact that they line up with release dates for Loki, makes me wonder what Marvel Studios is thinking right now. Because Marvel Studios has not said a word about this entire situation. Jonathan Majors is the next Thanos. He's a huge part of Marvel and the MCU right now. And they put a lot of faith, hope, work, time into Jonathan Majors. So one, it's really great that they haven't just dropped him. But two, I'm assuming he's taken all of the evidence with his legal team and has presented it to Marvel Studios and said, look, I am innocent in this situation. If he is, that is, but I'm sure that's what he's telling them. Please don't make a decision until the court makes a decision. Because if everything that his team is saying is true and all the evidence they have, if that's all real, then his team probably feels extremely confident that he's not going to be found guilty. However, we have heard from some insiders like Alex P at the Cosmic Circus that Marvel Studios does have a backup plan for Jonathan Majors, and that if they are going to replace Jonathan Majors, they might actually show us a new Kang at the end of Loki. But the trial has been pushed back a few times now, and it's getting really close. The judge has to make a ruling by the 25th, and the last episode of Loki, episode 6, airs on the 10th of November. Now, this could be purely coincidental, and disclaimer, this is just my speculation at this point. But I gotta wonder if Jonathan Majors and his legal team said, hey, Jonathan Majors has already lost a ton of work because of this. His reputation has been tarnished, his name's been tarnished, and if this trial continues to go on, he could lose another job, one at Marvel Studios. Again, that's my speculation. That might have been said or not, but those dates are really coincidental, and it really could just be a coincidence. But Jonathan Majors' team does seem very certain that they are going to win this. Here are some new statements released by Majors' team. His lawyer, Grace Jabari, stated this: "From the beginning of this case, the people have had incontrovertible evidence that Jonathan Majors is innocent of these charges, that Grace Jabari was not injured by him at all, and that Mr. Majors is the real victim of several crimes perpetrated by Miss Jabari." And she even made claims that Jonathan Majors has been denied his right to a speedy trial. She continued to state, "In fact, the NYPD has determined there is probable cause to arrest Grace Jabari for the crimes she committed against Mr. Majors. But rather than dismiss false charges against an innocent black man, the people instead have willfully withheld evidence of his innocence, buried evidence proving that his white accuser is lying, and interfered with the NYPD's attempts to investigate and arrest Miss Jabari." And from what we've heard, Majors' legal team says that there's police body cam footage of the police telling Grace Jabari to say that Majors assaulted her. We're unsure if this is true or not, but that is what their team states happened. So right now it's kind of all or nothing. It's them saying this is all of the evidence. Make a decision on whether you are pressing forward or dropping this case. But all evidence must be submitted and come to light. Everything is going to be used. So right now the DA has to decide how they're going to move forward. Then Jonathan Majors' team will reply to that, and the judge will make a ruling by October 25th on how everything is going to play out. So it's big news because it seems like the case has a chance to be dismissed, especially if the DA's office is really looking at all of the evidence, and if everything that Majors' legal team has said is true, all of the evidence they have, if that is real, then it seems like they do have irrefutable evidence that Majors is innocent. And if that all really is the case, then the DA might just drop the case entirely. So that's where we're at right now. The next update should come October 6th. However, the DA could make a decision before then. They just have until October 6th to do so. Of course, if we hear anything, we'll let you know, because everybody right now is wondering if Jonathan Majors will remain Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest updates. You can also subscribe and leave a comment on our videos for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items as well. The winner picks one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.